Okay, my name is Holly Mills, and I have a small wholesale native plant nursery here in the Rogue Valley under my name. I grow um, primarily plants for creek and stream restoration, as well as some additional species for the pollinators and for higher elevation and drier areas. I come from an organic farming background, and a handful of years ago, I completely shifted direction when I got connected with James Kraemer of Silver Springs Nursery, which is a really wonderful nursery here that's been here in the valley for a long time. And I was lucky enough to work with him for a number of years and then started my own business and we continue to work really closely together. And I'm just really grateful that I have access to his experience and wisdom. And he basically taught me most of what I know in the native plant growing game. One big challenge is the existence or lack of existence of much of a local market or of a very diverse local market. Most of what I grow goes directly to government agencies and nonprofits who are doing restoration projects, but we have a lot of work in front of us in terms of doing the education and cultivating the interest and knowledge for more of the landscaping and home consumer type folks here in our area to get as excited about native plants as we are. The other issue that I face a lot is access to seed. Because what I do and what some of the other native plant growers in the area do is we grow really specific, really specialized plants that are adapted for millennia to our wonderful region here, which makes them really great choices for planting in this region. But it also means that we're not buying seed from seed companies. It means that we are collecting seed from plants and plant stands and plant communities here in the Rogue Valley, and we're sharing that with each other. And that's a lot for the people who are also the growers and sellers to be doing. But it's really great working with Catherine and working with the Native Plant Partnership because that organization is really helping us move forward in creating a more resilient market and more diverse market for what we grow and for helping us problem solve some of these challenges that we face as small scale producers. Okay, I really love growing native plants. A lot just because I love this area. I love living in this area. I love being out in the hills and out in the mountains and in the woods. And the plants that grow here are really special to me, and they're also really special in general. We have such amazing, incredible biodiversity in this like Southern Cascade, Siskiyou, and over into the Kalmiopsis. It's just a really exciting place for plants. Native plants are just a really safe and landscape resilient choice because they are already well suited to your site, whatever your site looks like. There are plants that are adapted to it in this area. And when you're picking the right plants for the site, they're going to be really easy to grow and establish. And they are already acclimated to being summer drought resilient and to being fire wise. So a lot of those questions that people go to a nursery trying to like look on plant tags and see, does this fit the criteria? Does that fit the criteria? If you are planting native plants in your landscape instead, kind of just all you have to do is be assessing more like, is this a dry site plant? Is this a plant that wants its feet wet? Is this a plant that wants to be next to a creek? Is like planting them in the right place is kind of going to solve a lot of those other issues. We're all still learning what the best or most efficient protocols are for growing these plants. And so if you want to grow those plants too, I think you need to be curious. You need to be really willing to experiment and try things out. And that you're going to be much more successful if you're also creating your own relationships with these plants where they're growing in the wild around you, and kind of like teaching yourself to watch them and pay attention to them and listen to them and kind of like learn from them how they grow. I have a handful of trees, mostly alder and cottonwood, that I don't know if you want to plant in your in-town front yard, but if you've got a creek running through your place, go for it. And then some of the ones that I have that maybe more of anybody with any kind of situation would be interested in. I have some lovely Nootka rose. I have some chokecherry. I have some red twig dogwoods and a little bit of mock orange. But yeah, get those dogwoods in your yard. They're so beautiful. Rogue Native Plant Partnership is really awesome and a super valuable resource, and you should buy plants at their plant sale so that it can continue.